Hello students, today we will continue again with the session 2 of ICT tool and we are going to discuss central processing unit. This central processing unit, or in short we call it as CPU. This resides inside the CPU box, inside the CPU cabinet. The rectangular box that you see attached with the monitor, that is actually the CPU box, or we call it as the CPU cabinet. That is not the CPU. The CPU is a small part that is inside that cabinet, and this CPU is also known as brain of the computer. What it does all the processing of the data. It will also store the data and will give all the instructions to the parts of the computer to operate, to do anything. So this consists of control unit, arithmetic logic unit, memory unit. Here you can see the memory unit, control unit, arithmetic logic unit. These are the three parts of the CPU. How it works: the input unit gives the input that is taken up by the control unit. If the system is free, no other processing is going on, control unit will send the data to arithmetic logic unit to process it. And if it is not free, it will send the data to the memory unit. There the data is going to reside for some time, and as soon as the processor becomes free, that data is again fetched up by the control unit and sent to the arithmetic logic unit for processing. This arithmetic logic unit will process the data and will frame output out of that. That output will again be fetched up by the control unit, and if you have given the command to save it, it will go to the memory unit and will get saved into the secondary storage devices. And otherwise, if you have given the command to print, it will go to the output unit and that output unit will send it to the printer. And even if you have not given the command for the printing, that control unit will show it on the output unit that is on the monitor. So this diagram is depicting how the CPU works. The first part is control unit. Control unit controls all the operations of the computer. That is, it will take the charge of how the data is going to flow from one part to the another, how the storage of the data is to be done. This is not taking part in any of the processing, rather it is helping in the process of processing the data. So what are its functions? Its functions are controlling and regulating the functions of computer. Its function is to manage the flow of data through the input and output devices, and it instructs the memory unit to interpret and directs the operation of the data. Then we have the arithmetic logic unit. As the name itself indicates, arithmetic logic unit, that means it's performing all the arithmetic operations on the data, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and so on, and also going to do the logical calculations. Next we have the another part, that is the memory unit. That's for storing the information, for storing the immediate results of the processing wherever that is needed. Now the information in this memory unit can be edited, can be erased, or can be retrieved whenever needed. As per our requirement, all these can be done. We have the memory unit of different sizes, and these sizes affect the speed and power and the capacity of the processing of your CPU. As everything is measured, similarly the memory of computer is also measured, and to have this we have some of the measuring unit. Like for distance we have meters, kilometers. For time we have hours, minutes, seconds. Similarly, for the measurement of memory we have different unit, of which the smallest is the bit. Bit is the smallest unit of measurement of any storage device. Bit means that one of the binary value, that is 0 or 1. One bit means either it is 0 or 1. Then we have a bigger unit than the bit, that is byte. This is actually the fundamental unit to measure. A byte consists of 8 bits. 8 byte 8 bits का. And we have many more measuring units for the memory. As you can see given in this chart, we have the smallest as the bit, and the combination of 8 bits will make 1 byte. Similarly, combination of 1024 byte will make 1 kilobyte. 1024 kilobytes will make 1 megabyte. 1024 megabyte will make 1 gigabyte. 1024 gigabyte is going to make 1 terabyte, and it goes on like this till we reach the highest unit of measurement, that is geobyte. This is the highest memory measurement, and 1 geobyte is made up of 1024 brontobyte. So the smallest is the bit and the highest is the geobyte. Next we have the types of computer memories. The types of computer memories, we have two types. One are the internal and others are the external. Internal means something that reside inside the computer, and these are also known as primary or the main memories. Why? Because they are the main which are going to store all the instructions and which are going to help the computer in the working process. But the thing is that it has got the limited storage capacity, and as soon as the computer is turned off, all the data that is on this memory will get lost. We have two type of internal memories. We have two parts of internal memories, RAM and ROM. RAM is random access memory and ROM is read-only memory. The difference between the two memories is that RAM is only read-write memory. That is, you can read as well as write onto that. And the ROM is only for read, as the name indicates read. You can only read from what is written onto that. You cannot erase, you cannot write on that. ROM stores the information from the user and stores it. And anything that opens up on the system, that first gets opened up into the RAM. So here you can write, but the thing is that whatever is written onto this, it gets erased as soon as we switch it off. So this is a temporary memory, and we also call it as the volatile memory. Whereas the ROM stores everything in the BIOS, that is basic input output system, that is used for loading the operating system. That means all the instructions that are required for loading the operating system are fed into the ROM, read-only memory. And the information stored on it is permanent. Even if the system goes off, the power goes off, everything written on it remains there forever. So this is permanent and this is non-volatile type of memory. So all the instructions that are required for the smooth functioning of a computer system, that are required for the smooth functioning of operating system, for loading up of the operating system, that all is fed into the RAM, and we cannot edit this. So this is about the internal memory. Next video we will take external memories. Thank you.